Open and honest dialogue has been very important. There's a sense of, you're here to do a job, and that's on both sides. So making sure that accountability exists in the midst of that is really important.
I definitely think that trust is key. Being able to have open and honest conversations. Again, I think it needs to be an environment where it's okay to fail, to be able to talk about challenges. I think it comes down to letting the CEO know that I don't know everything. I'm learning as well. I think the board and the staff learn together. We're all focused on a strategic vision for the organization, and we're all in this together.
It's a co-pilot relationship. We both run this ship. And we have to have trust by not just looking at each other as this is someone I work with, look at each other as humans. Before I get into anything that's work related, let's talk about your family. Let's talk about what's going on with you in your life. That kind of sets the tone for how I have serious conversations. If I know you're having some issues at home or at work with the kids or just life, I'm going to extend a little bit of grace because at some point I'll need grace, and it helps me to kind of form how I want to approach this conversation if it's something difficult.
Well, the board chair handles a lot of the higher level strategic planning and visioning of the organization. CEO or executive director handles a lot of the minutia of the day-to-day, a lot of the HR issues and things of that space.
Board chair is in charge of the governance and the overall well-being of the organization, to focus on board members and keeping them accountable. And let the CEO run the day-to-day organization and advance the mission. And if the board chair or the board feels like the CEO is maybe going in the wrong direction or is mission creep a little bit, just kind of reel him back in, or him or her, to make sure that everything staff is doing is in line with the missions and the goals for the organization.
You need the heart and the soul, or nothing else runs. And I think you have to be in sync. And I think it goes back to that trust, understanding where each other's coming from, and knowing what the clear vision is for that organization. So when it comes to the board meetings, when it comes to making sure that the organization is, running well, helping with the strategic plan, guiding those board meetings, all of that other stuff, the board chair is on the back end. But that ED is on the front line, making sure that the day-to-day operations are running well, optimizing our financial operations, cultivating talent when it comes to our staff. You are the ship. You have to do everything where there's gaps, you fill them in, but you just know you have a co-pilot who's that board chair on the back end, making sure that things run and holding you accountable.
When you think about board governance, it's not editing my newsletter as the CEO. It's not making hiring decisions for the organization. It's not these daily functions. You're thinking big picture, and you're always going to think big picture. And your executive director is going to be thinking big picture too, but you'll have to do that from completely different perspectives. And so you don't want to get in the minutia of the work. You want to think strategically on a 50,000 foot level. Where does this organization need to be, and where does it need to go?